of our union brothers and sisters that had to deal up close and personal. This is a letter of commendation that went out to ASME section manager Mike Rodriguez for what he had to do across 2 or 3 hours. I also spoke to Margaret Saget, who runs our employee assistance program, who was also on the scene and saw how all of these different employees dealt with this long process and the trauma and the stress it brought to them. This isn't anyone's typical job. This is not what they're paid for. In fact, I don't know how you'd figure out what to pay someone for doing that. I don't know what you'd ask to be paid for that. But that's my point. Most of us aren't here just for a paycheck. Many of us could make more out in the private sector, but we choose to work here serving the public. So we're not here just for a paycheck, and we don't want to be viewed as if we are. So I see you your eyes kind of glaze over sometimes when my brothers and sisters get up and speak, to a sensitivity to the media exposure from 4 years ago and just in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And that's because we want to get through this negotiation dance as smoothly and as quickly as possible, because we want to get back. We want to get back to our jobs. Our job is part of the Bart family, and keeping Bart going and keeping it as the #1 transit agency. And we want you to keep this in mind, because it takes all of us to find success in this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. The next speaker is Yuri. How are you? Tim Wu has ceded his time to you, so you've got 6 minutes.
Good morning, and first and foremost, I'd just like to say thank you, sister, for your heartfelt testimony, and also giving us privy to that information. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I realize that it was very difficult for you to do while watching you, so thank you. Good morning, President Radulovich. Good morning, General Manager Grace Prunican, et al. I'm Yuri Holly, ATU 1555, Station Agent Representative. I stand here on behalf of my members, pleading that you hear all of our concerns. From the week of March 11th through the 18th, we had 2 fatalities and an assault. March 11th, President Radulovich, the downtown San Francisco stations are overrun with the homeless. We had a fatality at the Montgomery Street station, which the young lady was giving information about previous to me. We had a fatality in a downtown station. Montgomery Station, a man setting up for the night in the elevator shaft. It took 2 agents 20 minutes to pry the elevator cab doors open and free the occupant, who could see the deceased's head through the top of the elevator as he waited in the cab to be freed. March 15th, Director Melee. We had 1 fatality at the Richmond station, where the agent was actually crouched on the floor of the booth as passengers fled from a spray of bullets. We saw your statement in the press. Are there any plans to increase safety, and do you intend to address the Richmond frontline employees' concerns with the response? March 17th, President Radulovich. Glen Park Station. Agent Rodriguez, punched in the eye by a ferry baiter, had to be rushed to emergency, suffered a black eye, and other facial injuries. There are many hazards in the day, career, and life as an agent. It's discouraging to lay your life on the line for your employer and plead to your elected board and general manager for assistance and never receive a response. The only response we receive is negative press, further hindering us. I have observed the high level of security screening upon entering every board meeting. We only ask for the respect and safety provided to you. Is one life more precious than another? Are we all not one and the same human beings? Today I have 3 station agents here. Sarah Bump, who was here, she was actually held hostage in her booth at knife point. I also have Juanita Floyd here as well. She was pushed down the stairs just last week opening Berkeley Station. Marlon, who was punched in the face as well. All these things that happen, and the constant mantra at this meeting this morning has been outreach, community outreach, community outreach. We're meeting with different groups and we're having all these things. Well, Grace, I'd like to have a meeting with you to possibly discuss some station agent issues, and possibly you could have an outreach with me so we could possibly resolve some of these issues of concern about safety. The other thing here is that the capital spending, you guys say, well, okay, you're asking us you want to pay for it with the money from the fare boxes by not giving us raises, things like this. I don't remember the last time when a station agent walked away with $1 million severance, as our last general manager did. I don't remember a station agent or a train operator or anybody like this walking into this place getting fully vested. So if you're asking us to take concessions, no raises and things like that, I suggest that you start by leadership so we can follow by example, chop at the top. Why don't they go ahead and negotiate their salaries before we negotiate ours? Thank you. Oh, and I will be leaving a card in case anyone would like to contact me so that we can have a dialogue and discuss some of these issues. I'll leave it with the secretary.
Thank you. Cameron Funk, followed by Antoinette Bryant.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Good morning, Mr. Funk.
Really, this is an opportunity that we value. We apologize for not being here last meeting. We didn't know that there would be a vote to award contract 15II-110 to block a construction. So we filed a formal protest, but this really is to clear the air about some things that were said about our company. I work for ABM. It's a 103-year-old company, local company. I'm passing around a case study that really talks about our qualifications. We've done 5 projects before with Bart, 5 projects that are similar to this, which is emergency backup lighting. We've got 16th, 24th, North Berkeley, cash handling building, and Civic Center. Really, this is a project that's about safety. The theme of today seems to be safety. There are no backup lights in the stations, no battery backup UPS systems, and so the project is really to rewire the stations for 1/3 lighting, and to introduce a method to back up the stations in the event of a power failure. We bid this project. Really, the original project was 4 stations, and we were under budget. It was then put out for rebid, and it was chopped down to 2 stations, and we were still under engineer's budget. It's our feeling that the additional funding that would be needed to complete a couple of more stations could be money well spent. That's part of that federally funded budget. We've rewired 2 stations that are sitting there without the battery backup systems, but the stations have been rewired. And so we respectfully like the board to consider possibly reconsidering the staff recommendation to reject all bidders and to go back out to bid, or perhaps allow us the opportunity to enter into an agreement with a DBE. The merits of our protest will stand on their own. Really, we had a couple of points. One that I'll comment on, which is the ambiguity with the contract language. It's really hard for a bidder when it seems like the terms and conditions and it seems like it's boilerplate, and there were requirements for women-owned businesses, DBEs, MBEs, and there are different, you know, we're not saying that we didn't make mistakes in our efforts to qualify, but it's very confusing, the process, and so we'd like possibly in the future for contracts, you know, some additional help getting the contracts into a format that are a little clearer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Antoinette Bryant. Then Aaron Euler. Aaron, did you wish to speak under this end? You're still here? Okay. Good morning.
Laura Slower is yielding her time to me.
Okay.
If you have a sheet for her.
I do have a sheet for her. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Antoinette Bryant, President Business Agent of AT Local 1555. If you look out into the audience, you can see there are a number of my members that are here. And we've had over 50, and they're in purple shirts. Some of them are not. They are here for a variety of reasons. But the main reason is April 1st, we exchanged contract proposals. I think everyone here is aware of that. And to that end, I am prepared to present some of the petitions that are going around our local, which read as follows. We, the undersigned members of Amalgamated Transit Union, Local 1555, are proud of the work we all do to provide the excellent service that BART provides. As we enter into contract negotiations, and in the interest of maintaining civil negotiations leading to a fair and equitable contract, we ask the Board of Directors and management to refrain from inflammatory, derogatory language directed toward their employees. During the last contract negotiations in 2009, the safety of frontline employees were compromised by comments made by BART representatives to the media. We understand that there may not be agreement at all times, but we all share an interest in having a safe and healthy environment at BART for the riders as well as all of us who work here. So I can present these to Patty. This stems along with what Jeannie talked about. It stems along with what Yuri talked about. It stems along with the members that are in this audience that have been assaulted in one form or fashion in the course of their job. We take pride in our work. Every time I get up to the podium, I say that, and every time I come to the podium, I will continue to say that. Our members are proud of the work we do. I speak on behalf of ATU. I think that SEIU and AFSCME, I can say that unequivocally, and they will not refute what I'm saying. We all take pride in our work. Contract negotiations begin on Monday. We want a fair and full and equitable contract. It's interesting that you will talk about the capital funding. And President Radulovich, you made a statement of, well, you know, costs are going up. We can't run the system on 1974 costs, which was, I believe, 30 cents a ride, because I was paying it. Mm-hmm. It's interesting that you would then ask us to live off 2009 wages. We have not had a fair wage increase in 4 years. We expect that there will be someone coming to the table with that in mind. We work very hard. We provide 95-point higher percentage of on-time rating with less staff. You also talked about, because I'm going a little bit all over the place, because I'm not really a big numbers girl. I don't do all the big, large numbers. I just manage my own little budget. And all these figures and things that you were throwing out, the commitments that you made to capital, you stated that. The board members stated we have a commitment to improving capital. I'm with you on that, because I work here. And I've been here for 22 years this past Monday. Where's the commitment to the employees? Where's the commitment to Marlon Rodriguez, who's wearing dark glasses now because he was punched in the face? Where's the commitment to Brian Cotello, who was at Montgomery? We want to hear the commitment that the board has toward their employees. We expect that. We don't come to work just for $1. We come here because we are proud of the work we do. I left a job that I've been at 13 years.